No matter how much you optimize and upgrade your laptop, eventually you have to buy a new computer. Moreover, with the RAM crisis that has been ongoing for a few months and will likely last until 2027, there is now a loop of "it was cheaper yesterday, so buy it today because you won't be able to buy it tomorrow." If you are planning to buy a laptop today, I will give you recommendations for different use cases in this video. Let's get started before RAM prices rise any further. Shortly, I will recommend entry-level, mid-range, and high-end laptops for gaming, 3D modeling, video editing, and programming. I did this concept about a year ago as well. However, first I need to mention a few important points you need to know. Due to the ongoing RAM crisis, prices can spike suddenly, so keep in mind that the prices you see in the video might change over time. Likewise, you might not be able to find the laptop model or hardware combination I recommend in your country. When you do find it, prices might differ, or you might face stock issues. That is why I suggest researching different retail sites. You might find the recommended laptop at a more affordable price, or come across a version of the same model with more powerful hardware. The model names I mention in the video are quite important. Even a small change at the end of the model name can create major hardware differences. Also, even if the model name is the same, there might be hardware variations. I will leave product links below, but you should pay attention to this issue when researching on different sites. Some laptops I will mention here might be suitable for multiple use cases. For example, some laptops in the gaming category will also be quite sufficient for 3D modeling. One last warning for those wondering. I will not be recommending Windows laptops with ARM processors in this video. Currently, program and OS compatibility is not yet at a sufficient level. For now, Apple offers the most stable experience with ARM processors. If you want more detailed information about laptops, you can check out the laptop guide videos on my channel. I don't want to unnecessarily lengthen this video with technical details. Now, let's start with the first category, gaming. The most defining factor in gaming laptops is cooling performance. A powerful cooling ensures that performance is maintained for a long time without dropping due to heat. Besides that, the graphics card is one of the most important components in gaming laptops. However, you shouldn't focus only on the GPU and neglect other components. The real challenge with gaming laptops is finding a model that offers every component in a balanced way, and I've tried to make my recommendations here with this balance in mind. Low, Acer Nitro 16S AI. The Acer Nitro 5 series is Acer's cheapest product range, so don't raise your quality expectations too high. Another issue is that the model I recommend is the Nitro 5 16 series. The problematic models people remember were the Nitro 5 15s. Even though many annoying issues were solved in the 16 series, you might still see some quality problems. The reason I recommend this laptop is the hardware it offers and the fact that it's a more recent device. It comes with AMD Ryzen 5 240, 16GB of DDR5 RAM, 1TB Gen 4 SSD, a 16-inch 1920x1200 WUXGA 180Hz screen, and an 8GB 95W RTX 5050 graphics card. It is a good choice because it is recent and powerful relative to its price. Mid, Gigabyte Aorus Master 16. I chose a flagship model for the mid-level, however this slightly hurt the price to performance balance. But you'll understand why I chose it when you hear what it offers for $1,800. Core Ultra 9 275HX, likely a Gen 5 1TB SSD, 32GB of RAM, 140W RTX 5070 Ti 12GB, and the real selling point. A 16-inch 2060 by 1600 240Hz OLED screen. There is constant competition at this price point with models like the Legion 7i Gen 10, so compare your options well. Hi, Lenovo Legion Pro 7i. It's hard to find a better laptop at this price. Core Ultra 9 275HX, 2TB Gen 5 SSD, 175W RTX 5080 16GB, and just like the previous model, a 16-inch 2560 by 1600 240Hz OLED screen. The version I came across had 64GB of RAM, which is a truly unexpected plus. We know the state of RAM these days, so thanks to this, it stands out against equivalent models. At the beginning of the video, I mentioned that a laptop could cover multiple tasks. This is one of those laptops. With a powerful processor, high-performance graphics card, ample storage, and 64GB of RAM, it meets many things editors might need. Therefore, you can use this for content creation as well. But having a glossy OLED screen and a lower resolution compared to some production-oriented laptops might be downsides for some users. 3D modeling. In this field, especially during the rendering stage, the PC uses the graphics card almost exclusively. That is why you need to choose a laptop with the most powerful GPU possible. For this reason, I recommend a graphics card at least at the RTX 5070 level. Also, since many 3D modeling and VFX programs offer limited support on the macOS side, I definitely do not recommend MacBooks for this area. Low. Gigabyte Gaming A16. This laptop is another laptop that's good in multiple use cases. It features an Intel i7-13620H, 1TB Gen 4 SSD, 32GB of DDR5 RAM, and a 16-inch 165Hz 1920 by 1200 WUXGA screen. You might find different alternatives in terms of CPU and screen in this price point, but 32GB of RAM is much more useful for this use case, especially keeping longevity and multitasking in mind. Mid. HP Omen Max. We jumped from $1,800 to $3,000 in the gaming section. If you are aiming for the middle ground, you can safely go for this laptop. It has an AMD Ryzen AI 9HX 375, 2TB Gen 4 SSD, 32GB of RAM, RTX 5080 16GB, and a 16-inch WQXGA IPS 240Hz screen. Keep in mind that some similar versions of this model come with OLED screens. High. Dell Alienware 18 Area 51. There are laptops with similar specs in this budget, usually with screen sizes ranging between 16 to 18 inches. This is a matter of preference depending on usage. However, keep in mind that since this laptop has an RTX 5090 and consumes a lot of power, using it on battery is out of the question. It has an Intel Ultra 9 275HX, a 175-watt RTX 5090, 64GB of DDR5 RAM, 2TB Gen 4 SSD, and the weak point of this model, an 18-inch 300Hz WQXGA screen. The 5090 version of the Lenovo Legion Pro 7i Gen 10 can be found with an OLED screen and is another great option. Since I didn't want to recommend the Legion 7i Pro again, I'm adding this one to the list instead. Content creation. By content creation, I mean video editing, Photoshop, and similar creative work. If you are dealing with this kind of work, you will need a powerful processor, sufficient RAM capacity, and ample storage space depending on your project. If you want to get high performance without being tethered to a wall outlet, MacBook models are currently one of the best options. ARM-based Windows laptops also claim similar performance, but there are severe issues regarding software compatibility. If you're on a tight budget, you unfortunately have to stick to entry-level and mid-range projects. Laptops at this level might fall short in bigger Premiere Pro and After Effects projects. Also, in this category, extra connectivity features like an SD card reader can seriously streamline the workflow. However, if the laptop you choose doesn't have one, you can fix this deficiency with external adapters if you need to. Low. Dell 16 Plus and Apple M4 MacBook Air 13-inch. Some users prefer Windows, so I recommended two laptops. The Dell 16 Plus has an Intel Core Ultra 9 288V, 2TB M.2 SSD, 32GB of DDR5 RAM, and a 16-inch non-touch 2.5K IPS screen. Due to its thin design, the port count is low, but the price is reasonable for this hardware. The Apple M4 MacBook Air is the version with a 13-inch screen, 16GB of RAM, and 512GB of storage. If portability is a priority, this is the most logical choice. It especially stands out in programs that run better on macOS. Here, the choice entirely depends on your usage style. But if you are torn between Mac and Windows, you can watch the video I posted on the channel about this. Mid. Apple MacBook Pro M5 14-inch and Apple MacBook Pro M4 Pro 14-inch. As you might guess, I chose these due to their great value. Both models have 24GB of RAM and 1TB storage. The only difference is the processors. One is M5, the other is M4 Pro. This choice is entirely related to your use case. The M4 Pro has better multi-core and graphics performance. Thanks to 2 extra cores and wider memory bandwidth, the M4 Pro stands out more in certain tasks. High. Apple MacBook Pro M4 Max 16-inch. As you can guess, this is one of the most logical laptops for heavy workloads right now. It offers an M4 Max processor, 48GB of RAM, and 1TB storage space. However, M5 Pro models will be released a while after this video is published. It might be better to lean towards them depending on tests and especially their prices. Programming. Since software development is a quite broad field, we need to narrow the scope a bit. In this section, I won't touch upon graphics-heavy fields like game development. If your goal is game development or developing projects related to AI learning, it would be better for you to check out the laptops in the 3D modeling section. Processor power, RAM capacity, and storage space are the most critical components for software development. Screen size and portability depend on personal preferences. Since many developers generally use external monitors, screen size is often not a deciding factor. Apple models stand out in this category due to battery life, performance efficiency, and ecosystem advantages. There are laptops offering powerful performance on the Windows side, but they generally share similar disadvantages regarding battery usage. Low. Apple M4 MacBook Air 13-inch. I just recommended it, and I'm recommending it again because it offers the basic features developers might need. M4 processor, 13.6-inch portable design, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and 512 gigabytes of storage. Here, as an alternative tactic, you can look at renewed products. For example, you can find 1 terabyte storage options in MacBook Air or MacBook Pro models from the M3 generation. However, I am not recommending renewed products in this video due to their risks, so you have to weigh the pros and cons yourself. Mid. Apple MacBook Pro M5 14-inch. It might be annoying that I'm recommending the same laptop again, but this is one of the most logical options out there. Just like the MacBook Air, it is quite suitable for developers. Although the 14-inch size is not as portable as the Air, it is still portable. It offers a serious advantage over the Air thanks to its M5 processor, 24 gigabytes of RAM, and 1 terabyte storage. High. Apple MacBook Pro M4 Pro 14-inch. This was one of the 2 alternatives at the mid-level in the production list. The reason I recommend it as high here is that most developers won't need the M4 Max. The M4 Max generally stands out in editorial and graphics-based work, and if you are not going to work on AI on the software side, paying an extra $1,000 won't be very logical. Instead, I maintained the price-performance balance by choosing the M4 Pro. The M4 Pro's multi-core performance, 24 gigabytes of RAM, and 1 terabyte storage are quite ideal for developers. So this concludes the video. Which laptop here is your pick? Don't forget to share your choice in the comments. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button. If not, feel free to dislike it. Stay mysterious until the next video. Take care, and bye.